Fans, thanks for tuning in to Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs baseball. It's tonight's perfect game collegiate league matchup between the visiting Amsterdam Mohawks and the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. I'm Pete Pagliaro bringing you all the action tonight. And first we'll have the starting lineups for the visiting Amsterdam Mohawks. In center field for the Mohawks is number 12, Luke Filippi from SUNY Albany. In right field is number 10, Brandon McCrane from Auburn University. In left field for the Mohawks, number 29, Jake Long from the University of Utah. At first base, number 30 is Luke Costello from Wake Forest University. Tonight's extra hitter for Amsterdam is number 15, Chris Holcraft from St. Bonaventure. At third base is number 36, Jaden Harrell from Florida Atlantic. At second base is number 3, John Young from Alabama University. The DH is number 18, Bray Touchstone from Gulf Coast University. Catching tonight for the Mohawks is Danny Perez from Stetson University. And the shortstop for the Mohawks is number 1, Lucas Buckner from Mississippi State. On the mound tonight for the Mohawks is number 42, Jack Kirshner from Rutgers University. And the Mohawks are coached by Keith Griffin. For the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs, Edwin Sanchez is in left field. Tyler Jones is the DH from George Washington University. At third base is Joey Calabretti from Seton Hall University. Catching tonight is J.B. Kuznick from Fairfield University. The center fielder, Caden Hart from Virginia Tech. And in right field is Ian Oschlager from RPI. At first base for the Dogs tonight, Brandon Hawk from St. Thomas Aquinas University. Playing short for the Dogs is John Ramsey from Trinity University. And the second baseman for the Dogs tonight from Wagner University, Matthew Sutera. Pitching for the Dogs, number 44, Walter Garrett from Trinity University. The Dogs are coached by Coach Steve Luby. So the Dogs come in here tonight at 3-4. As they play a very hot Amsterdam squad, 9-0 on the season for the Mohawks. Looking to stay perfect here in Mohawk Valley. So we're just about ready to get started as the first batter is coming to the mound here, coming to the plate, for the Mohawks. That is Luke Filippi, number 12. And he will face off against the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawg pitcher, Walter Garrett. And first pitch just about ready to start here. Garrett on the mound. The Dogs wearing their traditional black tops with green trim, and Amsterdam also wearing black tops with white, black lettering and red. That one is fouled off to start things off, and Luke Filippi down 0-1 in the count. So Walter Garrett from Trinity University, the pitcher on the mound here for the Dogs, and second pitch called, strike 2 in the count quickly. Is 0-2. So Walter Garrett looks in to his catcher and delivers the pitch. 4-1, the count now 1-2. So his catcher is Kuznick behind the plate, for the DiamondDawgs. And here comes Garrett now with the windup and the pitch to Filippi, and that misses for ball 2 in the count now. 2 strikes to Luke Filippi. Filippi from SUNY Albany. He is the center fielder tonight for the Mohawks. Garrett will wind and deliver on a breezy night here in Little Falls, and count now full at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. The wind here blowing all day, and it's picked up here for the start of the game, blowing from right to left. And that wind changes occasionally, now blowing out. And that ball is hit sharply past the shortstop. And a base hit for Luke Filippi to start the ball game here for Amsterdam.
Fan who would like to participate in the water balloon toss, please go see Jack behind the first base dugout. Now batting for the Mohawks, the right fielder number 10 from Auburn University, Brandon McCrane.
So Brandon McCrane, now the batter for the Mohawks. McCrane from Auburn University, right-handed batter for the Mohawks. And he steps into the box ready to face Garrett with a runner on first. Nobody out here, top of the first. Here's the pitch. And a little dribbler to second base. And picked up by the second baseman. Throws over. That is Sutera to Hawk for out number 1. The runner advances to second.
Now batting for the Mohawks, the left fielder number 29 from the University of Utah, Jake Long.
So Jake Long, now your batter for the Mohawks. Long from the University of Utah. He is tonight's left fielder for Amsterdam. First left-handed batter we're seeing here tonight for the Mohawks. Steps into the box with a runner on second base. And he awaits the pitch from Walter Garrett. Garrett takes a look at that runner at second a few times before he sets, winds, and delivers. Does so outside. Stopped by the catcher, Kuznick. Counting 1-0 with one out. Here's Garrett with the pitch outside. And they count now 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes to Brandon McCreen. I'm sorry, Jake Long. Luke Costello on deck for the Mohawks. Runner on second taking a short lead, not being held on. Wind has changed again, this time right to left. Here's the windup and pitch by Garrett outside. And that is ball 3 now to Jake Long. Timeout is called as Jake Long steps back into the box. He is ready to go. And Garrett just about set, looks in, winds and delivers, and hits the outside corner for the first call strike to Jake Long. And the count 2-1. I'm sorry, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the windup, and they go back to second base. Ball bounces, but stopped by the shortstop out there for the Dawgs. So 3-1, good crowd here tonight. You can hear the kids in the background having a great time here at Vets Memorial Park in Little Falls. And here is Garrett now with the windup and the pitch. Takes a couple glances at second base before he delivers, and that one's fouled off. And they count now full at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Jake Long, the left fielder. Long, number 29 for Amsterdam. And Long is set and ready to go. Was waiting for Walter Garrett to deliver the pitch. Again, the runner on second taking a short lead, not being held on, and he fouls another one off as he continues to battle at the plate, does Long. And they count 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Long back in the batter's box. And again, Garrett looking over at that runner at second a few times. No one there. Here's the pitch. And that one hits him, I believe. And it was ball 4 anyway, so he's going to take his base. And so runners on first and second now. And Luke Costello, the first baseman from Wake Forest University, right-handed batter, will come to the plate for the Mohawks. So runners on first and second here. Top of the first inning. Just 1 out. Walter Garrett on the mound for the Dawgs. Here's the windup and the pitch. And is left high for ball 1 to Luke Costello. Following Costello on deck is the extra hitter, Chris Holcraft. Again, 1 out. Runners on first and second. Both taking short leads at their respective bases. Here's the windup and the pitch. And right down the center of the plate for a called strike 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 pitch on its way from Garrett. That one's fouled off, and the count now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, here's another nice mess you've got me into.
So 1-2 now to Costello. Costello from Wake Forest University. Look up and down this lineup. Big schools in the lineup for the Mohawks. Amsterdam, always finding players from all across the country. Big schools like Auburn, Alabama, Wake Forest. And that one misses. And they count now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and two. Here's Garrett now with the windup and the pitch. Runner at first, second base dancing around. Here's the pitch. And the ball in the dirt. And the catcher keeps it in front of him, and that's Kuznick. And they count now 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners on first and second. No score here, bottom, top of the first from Vets Memorial Park in Little Falls. There's the windup now on the pitch. And that is left high for ball 4. And that will load the bases now for the Mohawks. So Luke Costello will take a walk. And so Chris Holcraft from St. Bonaventure University, the extra hitter, is going to come to the plate here for Amsterdam. So top of the first, bases are loaded here for the Mohawks. And the windup and the pitch misses inside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Garrett looking to get himself out of this inning. Here's the windup and the pitch. That is high and tight for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. To St. Bonaventure's Chris Holcraft, and with that, Coach Luby's going to come out, have a few words with his pitcher. Along with him is the catcher. They're going to talk it over for a few minutes, and we're going to take a quick break and be back right after this, folks.
Hey fans, tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
And we are back. Quick little chat on the mound from Coach Luby. Hopefully that's what Garrett needed to get himself out of this little jam here. So bases are loaded here. 2 balls and no strikes, 1 out. And 3-0, I believe. The count. Here's the windup in the pitch. Right down the center of the plate for a called strike. And 3-1 now the count. So Holcraft awaits. 3-1 pitch. Here it comes. And that is high for ball 4. And that will walk in and run the first of the ball game here for Amsterdam. So the third walk of the game. Holcraft walks, the run scores. It is now 1-0 Mohawks. So Jaden Harriel, now the batter from Florida Atlantic University. He is the third baseman for Amsterdam. Wearing number 36, a right-handed batter is Harriel. Again, bases are loaded, 1 out, now 1-0 lead. And that one coming right at us here. And thank God for that fence in front of us. And the count 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes to Harriel here. Garrett has got himself into a little jam here in the top of the first, looking to get himself out of it. And there is strike 2 down the center of the plate, and the count 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Garrett would love to get out number 2 here with bases loaded. So Garrett looks in. He's awaiting for Harriel to step in the box. He's in the box and chase off a few pitches before he's ready to deliver, does Garrett. And there is called strike 3. He rings him up, not happy by Harriet. He thought that was a little high. So there's the second out of the ball game. And John Young Jr. from Alabama University will come to the plate again with bases loaded. He's a left-handed batter for the Mohawks. Again, bases loaded, but this time 2 outs, just a 1-0 lead. So Young, the second baseman, number 3 here for the Mohawks. Garrett sets, winds, and delivers, and does so outside for ball 1. 1-0 with 2 outs. Young Jr. back in the box, wearing that Crimson Tide helmet, the Crimson Red, and one in the dirt for ball 2 in the count now, 2 balls and no strikes. A lot of these players bring their equipment from their colleges, so a lot of times you will see them representing their school colors, usually by way of their batting helmets. There's the windup in the pitch, and a little chopper to the second baseman, scoops it up, goes over to first, and that'll do it And Walter Garrett saves the inning. Just 1 run scores with bases loaded. And we will head to the bottom of the first with the Mohawks leading 1-0.
All right, now Kansas.
We know pools. Garrity Pools and Spa are the experts in building and creating backyard memories for thousands of families. Garrity takes pride in offering only the highest quality in-ground Pacific pool and radiant above-ground pools that are built for upstate New York weather. Garrity offers only the best with BioGuard chemicals to keep your pool sparkling clean. Visit the professionals at Garrity Pools and Spa, 234 South Caroline Street, Herkimer, or GarrityPools.com.
And welcome back, fans, for the start of the bottom of the first inning. Dawgs are down 1-0. And leading off for the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs is the left fielder from Siena College, Edwin Sanchez. So Edwin Sanchez will lead things off here for the DiamondDawgs, down 1-0. So it'll be Sanchez against Jack Kirchner. Kirchner on the mound, a right-handed pitcher for Amsterdam. Kirchner will wind and deliver, and strike one right down the center of the plate to start things off here. And they count 0-1 to Sanchez. So it'll be Sanchez, Tyler Jones, and Joey Calabretti all due up here in the inning for Mohawk Valley. Here's the pitch, and there's another strike down the center of the plate. And the count quickly 0-2 by Kirchner. No balls, 2 strikes. Sanchez steps in from Siena College. And Kirchner will wind and deliver on the 0-2. And there is called strike 3. And Sanchez not happy with that call. And that is out number 1.
Number 8 from George Washington University, Tyler Jones.
So here's the designated hitter, number 8, Tyler Jones from George Washington University. Another right-handed batter for the Dogs. He's going to step in here to face Kirchner, who threw 3 pitches, all 3 strikes. So here's the windup and the pitch now from Kirchner. In the dirt for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out. Bottom of the first inning here from Vets Park in Little Falls, New York. For a perfect game, Collegiate League Baseball, brought to you by the Creative Outpost. Here's the pitch. And that is high for ball 2, and the count now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Jones. Kirchner again looks in. He will set, wind, and deliver on the 2-0. And there's called a strike 1, and the count now 2-1 to Jones. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Beautiful day here in Little Falls. A little windy, but we'll take it. No rain, sun's shining, and a very good day for baseball. Wind is blowing out on occasion, so a well-hit ball can get some help here tonight from the wind. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Tyler Jones. Here comes a 2-2 pitch now from Kirchner. He shakes one off. And now he likes what he sees from his catcher. He's going to set and wind and deliver. And he hits him. So a hit by pitch to Tyler Jones. Not in the cards, I'm sure.
Third baseman, number 30. 14.
And that'll bring up
From Seton Hall,
the third baseman, number 13,
Calabretti.
Joey Calabretti. So here is Calabretti from Seton Hall University. And Calabretti is going to step into the batter's box from the right side. A 1 out. Runner on first base. There's strike one to Calabretti. Count 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Again, 1 out. And here's Kirchner now with the windup and the pitch. In the dirt, stopped by the catcher, Perez, behind the plate. On 1 pitch. And it's on its way. And there's called strike 2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Joey Calabretti. A 1-2 the count. 1-2 is popped up. And the count's going to remain 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch on its way. Here it is. And there is called strike 3 as Calabretti strikes out for out number 2.
Now in for your Dogs, the catcher number 30 from Fairfield University, J.P. Kuzik.
There's J.P. Kuzik now. Kuzik at the plate with 2 outs. The right-handed batter is Kuzik. Runner on first base for the Dogs. And there is strike 1 to Kuzik. No balls, 1 strike. Runner on first taking a short lead. Kirchner looks over at the runner at first base. Now he delivers the pitch. And that is popped up into the glove of the second baseman. That is Young who makes the play. And that'll end the inning. No runs score. 1-0 the score remains. Mohawks ahead. Back after this.
At GPO, we understand every member's journey is unique. That's why our employees take the time to listen, understand, and deliver personalized solutions that fit your life. From budgeting to borrowing, we're with you every step of the way. Your journey, our commitment. GPO Federal Credit Union, committed to excellence.
Wake up and smell the sizzle at your local Burger King. Burger King is open for breakfast 7 days a week. Your mornings deserve the royal treatment. So dive in to try our delicious breakfast sandwiches, savor our savory hash browns, and wash it all down with a hot or iced coffee. Whether it's Monday or Sunday, we've got your breakfast cravings covered. Swing by BK today to have it your way. You rule at participating U.S. restaurants during breakfast hours.
And welcome back, fans. Start of the top of the second inning. Perfect game, Collegiate League Baseball, between the Amsterdam Mohawks and the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. So Bray Touchstone will lead things off here for the Mohawks. He is from Gulf Coast University, right-handed batter. He's ready to face Walter Garrett here at the top of the second. That was a big swing and a miss by Touchstone. He is tonight's DH for the Mohawks, and that is strike one. So no balls and one strike. And Gulf Coast Community College for Touchstone. I tried to put him in a university a little prematurely. No balls and two strikes. There's the windup in the pitch. And that one misses for ball one. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bray Touchstone. Danny Perez and Lucas Buckner all due up here in the inning. There's a windup and the pitch in the dirt. And it is stopped by Kuzik. The count 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Walter Garrett, the pitcher, on the mound for the Dogs. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that ball hits sharply to third base. Third baseman scoops it up, throws across the diamond. And that is good for the out. So that was Calabretti all the way across to Hawk at first base for out number 1. So Danny Perez from Stetson University, he is the catcher. He will step into the batter's box to face Mohawk Valley DiamondDawg pitcher Walter Garrett. Garrett is set and just about ready to deliver as he steps and pitches. Does so high for ball 1. The count 1-0. Field here at Little Falls looks perfectly manicured by our grounds crew. Most of those grounds crew members are members of the baseball team. They come out and they do a lot of the work pregame. And the count is 2-0. Also, great job by the city of Little Falls, who keeps it perfectly manicured throughout. There's a swing and a foul tip, 2 balls and 1 strike to Perez. And the count is 2-1. 1 out. 2-1 pitch is on its way. Here it comes. And it's the inside lower portion of the plate. And that will even the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now with 1 out. Wind up and pitch by Garrett is outside. And that'll bring us to a full count, 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes, 1-0 lead for the Mohawks. Top of the second inning. And Garrett is set to deliver on the 3-2. And there's a swing and a miss. And that is out number 2 of the inning. So a strikeout by Danny Perez. And that'll bring up a Lucas Buckner. So Lucas Buckner from Mississippi State. A left-handed batter going to face the lefty Walter Garrett. He is the shortstop, is Buckner, wearing number 1 for the Mohawks. A little chopper goes foul down the first base line into the dugout area. And the count 0-1. So Mohawks 9-0 on the season. Meanwhile, the Dogs are 3-4. Dogs have had a couple games canceled due to weather and the field not being ready in Utica. They have a new turf facility there, and that is ready to go. They just kind of had a grand opening not too long ago, a couple days ago, so they're ready to go. And 1-2 the count. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Garrett awaits. Here's the pitch. And that is popped into center field. Center fielder takes a few steps back, makes the catch. That is center fielder Hart for the Dogs, and that'll do it for the inning. The score remains 1-0 Amsterdam as we head to the bottom of the second. Back after this.
Spring into action and get started on your home projects with Little Falls Lumber. Get your free estimate today for that project, big or small. Little Falls Lumber. They're always happy to help.
Stop by one of our 3 convenient locations and speak to one of our knowledgeable salesmen about your next project.
At Hummel's Office Plus, our customers remain our #1 priority. Hi, Central New York. This is Justin Hummel, CEO of Hummel's Office Plus. If you are in need of a reliable, competitive, and consistent business product supplier, give Hummel's a try. We offer customized pricing, free next day delivery, and personalized service. With our wide assortment of office supplies, janitorial supplies, furniture, and everything else you need for your workplace, Hummel's is your go-to for all your business products.
And we are back. Bottom of the second here at Vets Park in Little Falls. And Caden Hart from Virginia Tech is going to step into the box. So here's Caden Hart, a right-handed batter for the Dogs, to start things off here in the bottom half of the second. And Kirchner will deliver. And he puts it down the center of the plate for strike one. No balls and one strike now to Caden Hart. Again, 1-0 the score. Amsterdam ahead, scoring in the first inning. That's where we are right now. That ball hit sharply to left field into the gap between left field and center. And that is a stand-up double for Caden Hart. So Caden Hart with the double here in the bottom of the second. So number 14, Ian Olschlager, the right fielder, will step into the box for Mohawk Valley. That's Olschlager from RPI. And he is a right-handed batter to face the righty in Kirchner. So no balls and one strike. Actually, I'm sorry, no balls, no strikes. My apologies. Just stepped into the box, so he can't have a strike yet, right? And timeout is called as the catcher is going to take a jog out. That is Perez. He's going to talk to his pitcher, Kirchner, and a little chat before they're going to deliver the first pitch to Olschlager. It'll be Olschlager. After Olschlager, Brendan Hawk is on deck. Runner on second base for the Dogs. And it looks like we are ready to go. Olschlager in the box, ready to go. Here is Kirchner now with the windup and the pitch. Again, nobody out here. Bottom of the second in the pitch. And then when it's down the middle for a called strike one. So the count 0-1 to Olschlager. No balls, one strike, nobody out. Runner on second, taking a short lead, not being held on. He takes a few steps off the bag, and now the second baseman runs in and runs out. And the pitch misses for ball one. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Olschlager. So a good crowd here tonight for this perfect game collegiate baseball league action. Some fans from Amsterdam have made their way here. They always travel well. Dogs fans also filling the park for this big ball game between these big competitors here. Big rivals here in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. There's a strike in the count now, 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Olschlager. Olschlager is set. Big bat for the Dogs is Olschlager. 1-2 pitch on its way from Kirchner. Runner at second taking a short lead. The pitcher takes a look over there at second, now delivers the pitch, and there's a big swing and a miss by Olschlager, and he strikes out. So Ian Olschlager on the strikeout for out number 1.
23 from St. Thomas Aquinas College, Brendan Hawk.
So Brendan Hawk from St. Thomas Aquinas is the batter here for the Dogs with just 1 out. And again, runner on second base. That's the tying run at second. Go-ahead run is at the plate. Here comes the windup now and the pitch by Kirchner. And right down the center for called strike 1. So 0-1. We have a few fans sitting out in center field enjoying the game. It's probably the best seat in the house. He's got no one around him. Just by himself. I'm being told it's the camera guy. Camera guy. It's a new camera angle we got going on out there. He's still by himself, though. 0-1 count. Just the boy and his camera. No ball and 2 strikes. I can barely see him because my eyes are bad, but I see the silhouette of a human. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the windup and the pitch to Hawk now. Runner leading back towards second. Here's the pitch. Outside. And the count now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch now from Kirchner on his way as he looks in to get his sign. Again, that runner is creeping off a second, not being held on right now. Here's the pitch, and that one is hit on the ground to the first baseman. Easy little play for him. Scoops it over to the pitcher who's covering first base, and that is out number 2 as Hawk rounds out to first base.
From Trinity College, John Ramsey.
So John Ramsey now the batter for the Dawgs. And he's going to step into the batter's box with 2 outs. And now a runner at third base. So tying run at third base now for the Dawgs. So it's John Ramsey's job to either bring him in or get on base safely for someone else to do it. That one's a strike to Ramsey in the count 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. 1 hit from both teams on the board here early on in the bottom of the second. Here's the windup in the pitch, and that is hit over the head of the first baseman into right field, and that's going to score a run. So an RBI single for John Ramsey ties this ball game up, and the score now is 1-1.
Number 33 from Wagner College, Matt Sutera.
So Matt Sutera, number 33 for the Dawgs from Wagner College. He's going to step into the batter's box now with the Dawgs, tying this game up at 1 here in the bottom of the second. And now looking for the go-ahead run. And 1 run awaiting at first base. Another one at home. That one down the middle to Sutera for called strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Runner on first. And a few steps off the bag. Kirchner looks over his shoulder. And now will deliver the pitch. And that one missing down low. And the count now even at 1-1. So a ball and a strike, 2 outs. Dawgs have knotted this game up at 1 here in the bottom of the second. Runner on first base again, taking a few short steps off the bag. Kirchner sets, runner takes off. And there's a swing and a miss, no throw. And safe at second is the runner. And that is John Ramsey. So Sutera now with a 1-2 count. Runner in scoring position at second base. Here's Kirchner on the 1-2. Delivers. And there's a swing and a miss. And Sutera strikes out to end the inning. But not before the Dawgs score 1 run to tie this ball game up at 1-1. We head to the bottom of the third. We'll be back after this.
At NBT Bank, we know that this day starts with this one. This day starts with this one. Because no matter how unforgettable the extraordinary days are, there's a lot of every day that leads up to them. You can count on NBT Bank to help you get started. NBT Bank, it starts here.
The center fielder number 12 from SUNY Albany, Luke Filippi.
And we are back for the start of the top of the third. 1-1 the score. Luke Filippi will lead things off here for Amsterdam. Filippi with a single in his first at bat. And we got a couple of shout outs to give out to some of our fans listening on Facebook. So we'll give a couple of special shout outs momentarily. And that one misses for ball one. So thank you to Joanne Miller, who's listening. Obviously a Dawgs fan cheering for the Dawgs. Also Marion is out there. Lavone, Gene, Robert Failing listening all the way from Sherman Oaks, California. So thank you for tuning in, Robert. Robert is a local of the area. Always here for those Amsterdam games, but he loves his Dawgs too. So shout out to him. His son is also out there, Mac, out in California, doing some movie stuff out there. So good for him and good luck out there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Scott McCrane from the Mohawks. He is all the way out from Station, Alabama, Smith Station, Alabama. And with that, Brandon McCrane will come to the plate. How about that? Perfect timing, huh? So, family getting a chance to watch as McCrane comes to the plate with 1 out. McCrane grounded out in his first at bat, and that one misses down low to McCrane in the count, 1-0. So Brandon McCrane from Auburn University, and he is ready now to face Walter Garrett. Garrett delivers, and that one misses down low for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes to McCrane. McCrane, a right-handed batter. Looks like he's sporting that Auburn blue helmet. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And that one hits the outside corner for a called strike, and they count 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Nobody on here in the top of the third inning. I'm sorry. There's the windup and the pitch, and that one hits him in the back. And so McCrane's going to take his base after being hit by the pitch.
Now batting left fielder number 29 from the University of Utah, Jake Long.
So here's Jake Long. Long walked 1 of 3 walks in the first inning. So Jake Long will step into the box from the left side. He's from the University of Utah, and tonight's starting left fielder. So with 1 out, McCrane is at first, taking a short lead. Here's the pitch, and McCrane takes off. Here's the throw, and got him. Out at second base is McCrane after the quick throw from Kuzik. So 2 outs now, and the count 1-0 to Jake Long. So 1-0, 2 outs after McCrane caught stealing. Got a good jump on that, but the big jump behind the play from Kuznick threw him out. That one's fouled off, and the count even at 1-1. So 1 ball and a strike with 2 outs. Long back in, ready to go. Waiting the pitch here from Mohawk Valley's Walter Garrett. Here's the pitch, and that one hits him. So 2 hit by pitches will put runners, a runner on first. So here's Luke Costello from Wake Forest University. Luke is the first baseman for the Mohawks here tonight. He comes to the plate with a runner on first, 2 outs. And the ball game tied 1-1 here in the top of the third. So 2 hit by pitches in a row, 1 to McCrane, 1 to Long. And Long is at first base after McCrane being thrown out. That one misses outside, and the count 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 pitch. Nope, going to go back to first, and the ball gets away from the first baseman. Bad throw. And now Long at second base. So an error on the play moves the runner over to second. So Walter Garrett made the move to first, got past the first baseman, and now the runner at second base in scoring position with 2 outs. And Luke Costello from Wake Forest at the plate. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes to Costello. Chris Holcraft on deck should he reach. 2-0 count. Coming to you from Vets Memorial Park in Little Falls. There is ball 3. Almost in the same identical spot, outside corner. And the count now 3-0 to Costello. 3-0 count on its way from Walter Garrett. And again, outside for ball 4. And he will take his base, and now runners on first and second, still with 2 outs. So Chris Holcraft, who walked in his first at-bat tonight, he is the extra hitter from St. Bonaventure University. A right-handed batter is Holcraft. And he's got runners on first and second here. Top 3, 1-1 score. And down the middle for a called strike 1 from Walter Garrett. And the count 0-1. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that misses just outside for ball 1, and the count 1-1. So a ball and a strike, 2 outs. 1-1 pitch, runners on first and second, taking short leads. That one is popped into right field. The right fielder makes his way over, makes the grab. And that is Oschlager out there in right field to end the inning. No runs scored, 2 runners stranded. And the score remains 1-1 as we head to the bottom of the third.
If you're looking for some shopping and dining, head on over to Canal Place, where you will find quaint shops, galleries, restaurants, and inns situated in the old mill buildings and storefronts along the waterfront of Canal Place. They've become known as the happening place for the arts in the Mohawk Valley. Not so long ago, many of these buildings were working mills serving the garment industry. Even today, after conversion to serve as retail space, many of these rugged but lovely structures speak to our great regional manufacturing heritage. If you're looking for fine arts, entertainment, or antiques, you simply must pay a visit to Canal Place.
And welcome back, fans. As we are getting ready to start the bottom of the third. Score remains 1-1 here at Vets Memorial Park in Little Falls. Fans, if you ever have the opportunity to come out here to Little Falls and watch a baseball game, I highly recommend it. One of the best ballparks around, in my opinion. A hidden gem here in Little Falls. So come out and check out Veterans Memorial Park. If you're a baseball fan, you got to put it on your bucket list to check it out. It's one of those fields that you really never knew existed, and then when you see it, you're like, wow, this is a great field. So final warm-up pitch is being taken here, and we are just about ready to go as Edwin Sanchez is coming to the plate for Mohawk Valley. He's the leadoff hitter in the lineup here for the Dawgs. So it'll be Edwin Sanchez, Tyler Jones, and Joey Calabretti. But first, here is Edwin Sanchez, who struck out in his first at-bat here tonight. Kirchner looking in, gets his sign, winds up and delivers. And it's a big swing and a miss by Sanchez, and the count 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Sanchez is ready. He's got those green gloves, green batting gloves, about a minty green there. And those go along with his sienna colors. And that one misses for ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. So the sienna colors green match perfectly with the Dawgs. Dawgs a little darker with that hunter green. Here's the 1-1. And that one misses, gets away from the catch, and the count now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Sanchez as he backs off. Undoes his gloves and jumps back into the box with a 2-1 count. Kirchner sets, delivers, and misses for ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Edwin Sanchez here He is the leadoff hitter here in the inning. The bottom of the third for the Dawgs. Dawgs looking to add some runs as the ball game is knotted at 1-1. And there's a strike to Sanchez. The count now full 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. As Sanchez and Kirchner will battle here for supremacy with a 3-2 count. Here's the windup, the pitch. Outside, ball 4, and Sanchez is going to win this battle as he's going to take a walk to first base.
Designated hitter number 8 from George Washington University, Tyler Jones.
So Tyler Jones, the DH here tonight for the Dawgs from George Washington University, was hit by a pitch in his first at bat. And he's going to step into the box with a runner on first base, nobody out. Ball game tied at 1-1. So Kirchner delivers, and that is a strike down the center of the plate, 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Tyler Jones. Edwin Sanchez at first base, taking a few steps off the bag. And Kirchner looks in and delivers. And then again, down the middle for strike 2, and quickly the count 0-2 now to Tyler Jones. No balls and 2 strikes to Jones. Kirchner looks over at the runner at first base. That's Sanchez taking a short lead. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that is a called strike 3. And Jones strikes out.
Now batting for your Dawgs, the third baseman, number 13 from Seton Hall, Joey Calabretti.
So here is Joey Calabretti. Just water. And here's Calabretti, a right-handed batter for the Dawgs. Struck out once here tonight, and the pitch is delivered for a called strike 1. And the count 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Calabretti from Seton Hall University. He's tonight's third baseman for Mohawk Valley. Kirchner is set. Looks over at that runner at first base. He's going to kick, wind, and deliver. And that one misses, I believe. And the count 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strikes to Calabretti. J.P. Kuzik is on deck for the Dawgs. 1 out. Runner on first. That runner, Edwin Sanchez. Again, Sanchez a few steps off the bag. And that one misses for ball 2. And that puts us at 2 balls and a strike. So 2-1 count to the Seton Hall Pirate, Joey Calabretti. Every time I hear of Seton Hall, I think of the days of the Big East. 2-1. And that one is left high in the count of 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. So 3-1 count to Calabretti here. Sanchez, again, taking a few steps off the bag at first base. 3-1 pitch on its way. And that was hit into center field. It's going to drop in for a base hit. And runners now on first and second after the single by Joey Calabretti.
Now batting for your Dawgs, the catcher, number 30 from Fairfield University, J.P. Kuzik.
So here's J.P. Kuzik. Kuzik popped out in his first attempt here tonight. And he will step into the batter's box with 1 out and runners on first and second. So runners on first and second. Here is the windup and the pitch by Kirchner down the center of the plate for called strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Dawgs have a chance here in the bottom of the third to get some runs with the game tied 1-1, 1 out. Runners on first and second. Here's the windup, the pitch, and down low for ball 1. So 1-1 now the count. So 1 ball, 1 strike to J.P. Kuzik. Caden Hart on deck for the Dawgs. Jack Kirchner, the pitcher, shakes one off from his catcher, and looks like he finally agrees to throw this next pitch, and looks at their runner at second and delivers. And that one gets away, and that's going to allow their runners to advance to second and third. So runners now in scoring position here for the Dawgs, for J.P. Kuzik. The Dawgs have a prime opportunity here to take the lead here in the bottom of the third. So runners on second and third here for J.P. Kuzik. Here's the windup now. And the pitch from Kirchner. Little chopper back to the pitcher. He grabs it. He's going to throw over to first. No one's going to go anywhere. So the runners will stay at second and third. And the ground out from Kuznick to the pitcher now puts him at 2 outs. So Caden Hart from Virginia Tech. He doubled in his first at-bat here tonight. And the Dawgs was certainly taking another double here from Hart, with the runners in scoring position, with the ball game tied 1-1 here, with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Kirchner is set. Runners on second and third taking short leads, and that one misses down low. Just ball scoots out of the glove of the catcher as he retrieves it and throws it back to his pitcher, Kirchner. So 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 count to the center fielder, Caden Hart. 1-0 the count. Here comes the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1, and the count even 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here comes the 1-1 now to Hart with runners on at second and third. 2 outs. A windup now and the pitch. And a swing and a miss for a strike 2. And 1-2 now the count to Caden Hart. So a ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs here. Caden Hart, the batter, at the plate for the Dawgs, looking to strike here with runners in scoring position. That one just missing for ball 2. And the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Kirchner looks in. And he's going to deliver on the 2-2 here to Caden Hart. The wind up the pitch. And that one's going to be hit to the shortstop. Bobbles it a bit, scoops it, grabs it, throws over to first, and he gets him. And no run scores. 2 runners stranded for the Dawgs. Score remains 1-1 after 3. We'll be back after this, folks.
Little Falls, New York combines the charms of a small town with the conveniences of a much larger city. Of course, you'd expect to find welcoming people, beautiful scenery, family-friendly activities, and plenty to do outdoors. But you might be surprised to find that Little Falls, New York also has an espresso bar, gem shop, art center, French restaurant, antique centers, local hospital, and extensive civic services and amenities. Not to mention homes both beautiful and affordable, nestled in a dramatic natural setting amongst steep hills that descend to the Mohawk River and Erie Canal. Little Falls, New York. It's a great place to spend a few days or a lifetime.
Some people might think that the tire shop in Canajoharie only does tires. Nah, that's only their name. The tire shop does so much more. Oil changes, custom wheels, interstate batteries, computer wheel balancing, tire repair service and recapping, auto accessories, tire chains, ag bags, bale and net wrap, and much more. And when it comes to tires, the tire shop in Canajoharie also does so much more. Lawn and garden tires, off the road, backhoe, loader tires, log skidder, agricultural, ATV and UTV tires, and on the farm tire services. The tire shop is a multi-line new tire dealer. That means they're quite a choice for top brand name tires for your car, truck, SUV, semi-tractor, and trailer, all at great prices. They're also a Goodyear national accounts and state contract pricing location. Financing available too. Find more information and a list of services at thetireshop.biz. Thetireshop.biz. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 6. Yes, Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Tire Shop, 155 Erie Boulevard in Canajoharie.
And fans, welcome back. We're going to go to replay of the throwdown in our last play before we get started. Here it is. And you'll see the pitcher deliver the pitch. And there's a throw. And they get him at second base. So nice throw, nice camera work there by our crew. And we are back here for the start of the fourth inning. And the score remains 1-1. And that one's fouled off by Jaden Harriel. The count 0-1. So no balls and one strike. So thanks to our camera crews out here from Creative Outpost. Our interns out there working hard, capturing all the action for you in the game. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Harriel, I'm sorry. Here's the pitch, and that one is fouled off again, and this time 1-2, and it fouled off down the first base line, I'm sorry. And the count is 1-2. So Harriel fouls another one off. So the count remains 1-2. Walter Garrett, the pitcher on the mound for the Dawgs. Actually, I think we have a different pitcher. Here's the pitch, and that one is popped into right field, and the catch is made in right for out number 1.
Now they to the Mohawks, the second baseman, number 3, from the University of Alabama, John Young Jr.
So John Young Jr. is the batter. All right, fans, my apologies. I missed a new pitcher coming into the ballgame. Drew Harris now pitching for the Dawgs. A lot of action going on up here. Sometimes you miss some of it, right? Still early in the season. 1 ball, no strikes. And Harris now will wind and deliver. And that one misses for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes to John Young Jr. Two-0 count. And that's fouled off here behind us. And the count now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike with 1 out. Nobody on here. Top of the 4th inning. Ball game tied 1-1. Here's Harris with the pitch and called strike. That one just paints the outside corner, and that evens the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as Young Jr. in the box, ready to go. Harris delivers, and there's called strike 3 as Young doesn't like it. He thought that was low, and that is out number 2.
Now batting for Amsterdam, the designated hitter number 18 from Gulf Coast Community College, Bray Touchstone.
So Bray Touchstone now the batter. He grounded out in his last at bat. So John Young Jr. for Alabama did not like where that pitch was called. Nice curveball there from Harris. Curves in for a strike, and the count 0-1 now. No balls and 1 strike to Touchstone. There's the pitch, and that is left high, and the count 1-1. So a ball and a strike, 2 outs, nobody on. Top 4 here from Vets Park in Little Falls. And another curveball, that one missing inside, and the count 2-1. So Harris working all sides of the plate here. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And that one called strike 2, and the count now even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. A lot of kids running around today at Veteran Memorial Park enjoying their popcorn. Ball hit sharply to the sharp corner. He drops it. He had it in his glove, and then he dropped it to third baseman for Mohawk Valley. What looked like might be a routine play, but it's called the hot corner for a reason, folks.
The catcher number 0 from Stetson University, Danny Perez.
So Danny Perez now the batter for Amsterdam. So 2 outs, runner on first. Here is the catcher, Perez. Called strike 1, and the count 0-1 to Perez now. Perez, a right-handed batter. 0-1 the count, runner on first base, taking a few steps off the bag. Here's the pitch, and a little chopper to the shortstop, and he drops it. So another routine play at short this time, and he bobbled it, and everybody is safe. So Lucas Buckner now is the batter. So the Mohawks stayed alive here in the inning. They had 2 outs, 2 chances for the Dogs to get out of this inning. And errors, as someone had some popcorn and got that on the ball. And there's a little bunt, and it is foul. So Lucas Buckner will make his way back into the batter's box as he put one down right in front of the catcher, and it went foul. So 0-1 as Buckner taking a long walk back as he was halfway down the field. He just took off. So he gets his lumber back in the box and ready to go. 0-1 count. Again, runners on first and second. Here's the pitch in the dirt, and the catcher, Kuznick, stops it, and the count now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Let's see if the Dogs can get out of this after a few crucial errors in the field here. So 1-1, 2 outs. Again, runners on first and second. Not being held on, short leads. And that one misses down low, 2-1. So a 2-1 count and 1-1 the score remains thus far here in the top of the 4th. Veterans Memorial Park, Little Falls, New York. And there's called strike 2. And back to Deuces Wild with 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. You add up the runs, that comes out to 2-2. And if you subtract the 3 hits and the 1 hit, back to 2. And another ball hit to the shortstop. He bloops it, and a run's going to score. And sloppy baseball here in the top of the 4th by the DiamondDawgs have allowed a run to score. So another error on the shortstop. And a run scores, and runners again on first and second. So 4 errors for the Dogs here. And they checked to see if he went, and they said he did, and the count 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Luke Filippi. Back to the top of the order. He has singled and struck out today, as these Mohawks seem to have 9 lives here in the top of the 4th. That one's fouled off down the first base line. As everybody knows, if you're going to give extra lives out, Amsterdam is not the team you want to do it to. 9-0 on the season. Perfect, looking to go into double figures here tonight, but the Dogs have something to say about that, I'm sure. And there is called strike 3. They get out of the inning with just 1 run damage. It could have been much worse with the errors. So the DiamondDawgs get out of this inning down 2-1. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Amsterdam ahead.
Little Falls, New York combines the charms of a small town with the conveniences of a much larger city. Of course, you'd expect to find welcoming people, beautiful scenery, family-friendly activities, and plenty to do outdoors. But you might be surprised to find that Little Falls, New York also has an espresso bar, gym shop, art center, French restaurant, antique centers, local hospital, and extensive civic services and amenities. Not to mention homes both beautiful and affordable, nestled in a dramatic natural setting amongst steep hills that descend to the Mohawk River and Erie Canal. Little Falls, New York. It's a great place to spend a few days or a lifetime.
Wake up and smell the sizzle at your local Burger King. Burger King is open for breakfast 7 days a week. Your mornings deserve the royal treatment. So dive in to try our delicious breakfast sandwiches, savor our savory hash browns, and wash it all down with a hot or iced coffee. Whether it's Monday or Sunday, we've got your breakfast cravings covered. Swing by BK today to have it your way. You rule at participating U.S. restaurants during breakfast hours.
Hey fans, tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
And fans, welcome back. So the bottom of the fourth, new pitcher on the mound for the Amsterdam Mohawks, that's Joey Jesowitz. So Jesowitz now pitching for Amsterdam. So a couple errors in that inning, and Amsterdam was able to score one run. It could have been much worse for Mohawk Valley, but they held their ground and they got out of the inning with just one run damage, and the score now 2-1 as Jesowitz takes a few more warm-up tosses. Looks like he's ready to go. And we are going to get started here in the bottom of the fourth.
Number 14 from RPI, Ian
So Ian Oschlager is now the batter. Here is Oschlager from the right side. Oschlager struck out in his first at bat here tonight, and he is ready to go to face the new pitcher here for Amsterdam, Joey Jesowitz. And the first pitch is a strike. I'm sorry, a ball. 1-0. And that one misses for ball two. Sometimes early on in the year we see balls and strikes differently up here, right? Especially now that we're getting older. We can't even see the game half the time. Just kidding. 2 balls, no strikes. And there is ball 3. So 3 balls and a strike. I promise you, fans, we'll get better throughout the season, but sometimes we get silly up here, too. It gets hot up here, about 100 degrees. Start getting delusional. And there is ball 4. And a walk to Oschlager. So Brendan Hawk will now come to the plate, but before that, Coach Griffin is going to take a long walk to see his pitcher, Jesowitz, and he's going to share some words with him. He's going to go all the way to the mound as Jesowitz met him about halfway, and Coach Griffin said, let's take the long walk all the way to the top of the mound. So some words of wisdom quickly shared by Coach Griffin. And let's see how that helps here for Jesowitz. With a runner on first, nobody out. Bottom 4, Dawgs down 2-1. And Brendan Hawk from St. Thomas Aquinas at the plate. So Oschlager at first, taking a short lead. Here's Jesowitz with the windup, the pitch. And down the middle for a called strike. 0-1 the count. No balls and a strike. Jesowitz looks over his shoulder at the runner at first. Takes another glance. And now delivers the pitch. And that one was a little high. And the count of 1-1. Just missing for strike 2. So 1-1 the count. As that one missed. And again, Oschlager taking a few steps off the bag. Here's the pitch. A little sidearm kind of a thrower is Jesowitz. And the count 2-1, more like almost like a submarine style, but not coming fully from the bottom, coming more from the side. 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Hawk. Hawk grounded out in his first at bat. That one catches the outside corner, and the count even now, 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hawk taps the plate. He's ready to go with a 2-2 count. Now Jesowitz looking over at runner at first. Again, taking a short lead. Takes another glance before he delivers, and it is outside for ball 3. So a full count now to Brendan Hawk. John Ramsey on deck for the Dogs with nobody out. 3-2 now. And Jesowitz sets, winds, and delivers. And little chopper to the third baseman. He can't handle it. And that one allows the runner to reach. A tough play there. We'll see how that one is drawn up. And that was a hit.
The shortstop, number 34 from Trinity College.
So Brendan Hawk with the single, and John Ramsey will come to the plate. So tough play there for the third baseman, as that one was hit kind of between the pitcher and third baseman, real short, and he was playing way back. So here's John Ramsey, who singled, picked up an RBI in his last at bat. He's the shortstop for the Dogs. Has a big opportunity here with runners on first and second, nobody out. Dogs down 2-1 here, bottom 4. Here's the pitch. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and there is strike 1. So no balls and 1 strike here to Ramsey. Ramsey, a right-handed batter for the Dogs. 0-1. And here is the pitch again, shows bunt. And puts one down the third base line, moves the runners over, and does his job, does Ramsey, moves the runners to scoring position. And so a sacrifice bunt for John Ramsey. So here's Matt Sutera, who struck out in his last at-bat from Wagner College. He is the second baseman for the Dogs tonight. And he's got runners in scoring position, second and third. And just 1 out here. So Dogs, prime opportunity here to unleash. Here's the pitch. And down the middle, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike here to Sutera. Sutera steps out, now back into the box, ready to go. Ready to face Jesowitz. Jesowitz winds, delivers. And that one is hit into right field. And that's a base hit. That's going to score 1 run. Here comes another one. And that one gets away. And a double for Sutera, scores 2 runs, and the Dogs now have taken the lead.
Number 28 from Siena College, Edwin Sanchez.
So back to the top of the lineup we go. Edwin Sanchez is the batter. The Dogs now lead 3-2. And here is Sanchez. Well, 3 balls and three runs for the Dogs here. And there is a called strike 1 to Sanchez. So Sanchez, top of the order for the Dogs. Tyler Jones on deck. No, just 1 out here. Runner on second base for the Dogs. Jesowitz looks at that runner, winds and delivers, and that's inside, pushing the batter off the plate a little bit, and the count 1-1. So Sanchez has struck out and walked here tonight. 1-1 count, 1 out, 3-2 Dogs. Bottom 4. Jesowitz winds and delivers, and that was hit the center field. It's going to drop in front of the center fielder for a single, and that puts runners on the corners for the Dogs after Sanchez picks up the single.
Dogs, the designated hitter, number 8 from George Washington University, Tyler Jones.
So Tyler Jones from George Washington University, now your batter for the Dogs. He was hit by a pitch and then struck out, and he is at the plate with runners at first and third at the corners here. And that one misses down low, 4-1. So 1 ball, no strikes. So Dogs at the corner of the diamond here. 1-0 pitch on its way from Jesowitz with 1 out. Dogs looking to add to that 3-2 lead. The runner takes off. Little chopper. This could be trouble. And they throw over for out number 2. So the third baseman scoops it up, took his time with it, and threw over to first. Run scores for the Dogs. And the score now 4-2.
Joey Calabretti.
So Jones reaches on the fielder's choice. Joey Calabretti now the batter. Dogs lead 4-2 with a runner on second. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And Calabretti sends that one down the first base line. Foul. And the count 0-1. No balls, 1 strike to Calabretti. Calabretti, a strikeout and a single already this evening. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that one is hit to center field and dropping in front of the center fielder. He's going to round third and play at the plate. Not in time. He will score. And the Dogs have extended their lead 5-2 after the Calabretti single.
Now batting for your Dogs, the catcher, number 30 from Fairfield University, J.P. Kuzik.
So here's J.P. Kuzik from Fairfield University. So Kuzik has popped out and grounded out here tonight. He will come to the plate with 2 outs, runner on first. So a 2-out rally here. 5-2 is the score. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that is hit up the middle, hit into the shortstop, who scoops it up and throws over to first to get out of the inning, but not before the Dogs put up some runs and take a 5-2 lead as we head to the top of the 5th.
Visit the Daily Post and stay connected with the latest news, information, and events in the Mohawk Valley. Our mission is to generate interest in the area and connect residents in a more meaningful way by facilitating deeper conversations about how these stories will shape the future of the Mohawk Valley. Join thousands of weekly visitors who stay up to date with feature stories, interviews, videos, our event calendar, and print publication, the Mohawk Valley Express. It's about timely local news for the community, keeping citizens informed about important issues, telling about the people who live and work here, and giving locally owned businesses the opportunity to reach a very targeted audience of locals and tourists alike. It's a whole new form of media-rich content developed specifically for today's mobile lifestyle and listeners. You can download our iOS app in the iTunes Store, listen to our podcast, or sign up for our weekly email newsletter. Stop by today at thedailypost.digital. You'll be glad you did.
Wake up and smell the sizzle at your local Burger King. Burger King is open for breakfast 7 days a week. Your mornings deserve the royal treatment. So dive in to try our delicious breakfast sandwiches, savor our savory hash browns, and wash it all down with a hot or iced coffee. Whether it's Monday or Sunday, we've got your breakfast cravings covered. Swing by BK today to have it your way. You rule at participating U.S. restaurants during breakfast hours.
And welcome back, fans. Brandon McCrae will lead off here in the top of the 5th inning. Top of the 5th. 5-2 Dogs. And Brandon McCrane is the batter. He was hit by a pitch last time, grounded out also. And he's now facing a 1-0 count is McCrane. So it'll be Brandon McCrane, Jake Long, and Luke Costello. Here's the pitch. And that's fouled off by McCrane. The count now 1-1. A ball and 1 strike to the right fielder McCrane from Auburn University. Right-handed batter is McCrane. And here comes the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2. A 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch by Harris evens things up here at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's the windup and the 2-2 pitch. And called strike 3. McCrane doesn't like that one.
Now batting left fielder number
And Jake Long now will come to the plate.
University of Utah, Jake Long.
So Jake Long, now the batter for Amsterdam. He's a left-handed batter. Long steps into the box, having walked and was hit by a pitch earlier. He will foul that one off down the third base line. As a souvenir for our fans in the tent area. The count 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Nobody on here, top of the 5th. Big inning for the Dogs in the bottom of the 4th. They scored 4 runs, now lead 5-2. The count 1-1 now to Long. Long from the University of Utah. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that one paints that outside corner for a called strike. Now the count 1-2. So Drew Harris ahead now in the count 1-2. With 1 out, he'll wind and deliver. And that one hit right at the shortstop. Makes the grab for the out. And the count actually at 2 outs now. After the ball was hit right into the glove of the shortstop out there. So Luke Costello, who's walked twice now, will come to the plate with 2 outs and nobody on here in the top of the 5th. Here's the windup and the pitch by Harris. And that one catches the outside corner this time for a call of strike 1. The count is 0-1. Costello from Wake Forest University. And that one is popped into right field. It's going to pass the right fielder. And a stand-up double here for Costello as he sends that ball to right field for a stand-up double.
Number 15 from St. Bonaventure University, Chris Holcraft.
So Chris Holcraft now the batter who has walked and popped out here this evening. He is the extra hitter here for the Mohawks. So he will step into the batter's box with 2 outs, down 5-2, and a runner on second base. So Harris is set. He's going to take a peek at that runner at second base. Now delivers the pitch, and that is hit up the middle, and the shortstop scoops it, throws over to first, and they get out of the inning just like that, and the score remains 5-2. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Dogs ahead.
We know pools. Garrity Pools and Spa are the experts in building and creating backyard memories for thousands of families. Garrity takes pride in offering only the highest quality in-ground Pacific pool and radiant above-ground pools that are built for upstate New York weather. Garrity offers only the best with BioGuard chemicals to keep your pool sparkling clean. Visit the professionals at Garrity Pools and Spa, 234 South Caroline Street, Herkimer, or GarrityPools.com.
At Hummel's Office Plus, our customers remain our #1 priority. Hi, Central New York. This is Justin Hummel, CEO of Hummel's Office Plus. If you are in need of a reliable, competitive, and consistent business product supplier, give Hummel's a try. We offer customized pricing, free next-day delivery, and personalized service. With our wide assortment of office supplies, janitorial supplies, furniture, and everything else you need for your workplace, Hummel's is your go-to for all your business products.
Hey fans, tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
Welcome back, fans. We are in the bottom of the 5th inning. Dogs leading 5-2 over the Amsterdam Mohawks. It is perfect game Collegiate League Baseball from Veterans Memorial Park in Little Falls. I'm Pete Pagliaro, bringing you all the action with our friends from Creative Outpost. And we have a new pitcher on the mound here for Amsterdam. That is number 11, Nick Seaman from High Point. Number 11, Nick Seaman, now pitching for the Mohawks. Taking a few more warm-up tosses is Seaman. And that one outside as he getting warmed up Last pitcher for the Mohawks. Jesuits in for a little bit, allowed 4 runs, and is now out of the ball game. Seaman has a few warm-up tosses to go before the DiamondDawgs sluggers will get a chance at him here in the bottom of the 5th. So here's Seaman with another warm-up toss, and that'll be it. And they will send up the first batter of the bottom of the 5th. That is number 11, the center fielder, Caden Hart.
From Virginia Tech, Caden Hart.
So here's Caden Hart from Virginia Tech. He has doubled this evening and grounded out. And he will face Nick Seaman for the first time here in the ball game. And here comes the first pitch from Seaman here in the bottom of the 5th. He will wind and deliver. Oh, and that hits him right in the helmet. He goes down. So we are going to take a commercial break here and let you know how things work out after we return.
Wake up and smell the sizzle at your local Burger King. Burger King is open for breakfast 7 days a week. Your mornings deserve the royal treatment. So dive in to try our delicious breakfast sandwiches, savor our savory hash browns, and wash it all down with a hot or iced coffee. Whether it's Monday or Sunday, we've got your breakfast cravings covered. Swing by BK today to have it your way. You rule at participating U.S. restaurants during breakfast hours.
Hey fans, tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
At Hummel's Office Plus, our customers remain our #1 priority. Hi, Central New York. This is Justin Hummel, CEO of Hummel's Office Plus. If you are in need of a reliable, competitive, and consistent business product supplier, give Hummel's a try. We offer customized pricing, free next-day delivery, and personalized service. With our wide assortment of office supplies, janitorial supplies, furniture, and everything else you need for your workplace, Hummel's is your go-to for all your business products.
Fielder number 14 from RPI, Ian
And we are back, fans. Number 14, Ian Oschliger, is now the batter. So update on Caden Hart. He got looked over. He got up, put his helmet back on, and talked to him for a few minutes, and now he is now at first base. It looks like he's okay. Scary moment, just took one to the helmet. It looks like Caden Hart is okay after being hit by the pitch. And that is popped up into right field by Oschliger. And the catch is made for out number 1. So pop out by Oschliger.
The first baseman, number 23 from St. Thomas Aquinas College, Brandon Hawk.
So here's Brandon Hawk, who has grounded out and singled here tonight. He is the first baseman here for the Dogs. Right-handed batter is Hawk with 1 out. Runner on to first base. Nick Seaman, the pitcher, will wind up the pitch, and that hits him in the hand. So another hit by pitch from Seaman. That'll put Brendan Hawk at first base.
From Trinity College, John Ramsey.
So John Ramsey now the batter from Trinity University. He is the shortstop. Runners on first and second now after the hit by pitches. So here is Ramsey. Again, runners on first and second here for the Dogs, 1 out. There's the windup and the pitch, and that is outside, 4-1. 1-0 to Ramsey here. 1 out. Again, 5-2 Dogs lead here, bottom 5th. New pitcher on the mound is Nick Seaman. 1-0 pitch coming to Ramsey. He looks at the runner at second, the Seaman, and taking his time, and now delivers the pitch. And that one is popped into right field. The right fielder coming for it, makes the grab, and that is out number 2. So I pop up to right field by John Ramsey. We'll bring up Matthew Sutera.
Dawgs, the second baseman, number 33 from Wagner College, Matt Sutera.
So here's Matt Sutera, who has struck out and doubled here this evening. Runners on first and second for the Dawgs. Bottom 5. 5-2 is the score. So Sutera, right-handed batter, steps into the box, and he is ready to go. And here comes the windup and the pitch from Seaman momentarily. And that one is hit into center field. Center fielder comes at it, can't make the grab. It drops in front of him, and the run will score. So Matt Sutera with the RBI single, and the Dawgs extend the lead to 6-2.
Now batting for your Dawgs, the left fielder, number 28 from Siena College, Edwin Sanchez.
So Edwin Sanchez now the batter for the Dawgs. So 2 outs here for the Dawgs. Runners on first and second. They've added to the lead, 6-2 now. Again, bottom of the 5th, and back to the top of the lineup we go with Edwin Sanchez, leadoff hitter for the Dawgs. Here comes the windup now and the pitch by Seaman, and that ball is hit into right center field, and that is good for a base hit. 1 run scores, and a RBI double for Edwin Sanchez. Scores another run. Dawgs now lead 7-2.
Now batting for your Dawgs, the designated hitter, number 8 from George Washington University, Tyler Jones.
So here's Tyler Jones, who reached on a fielder's choice in his last at-bat, also hit by a pitch and struck out. And he will come to the plate with the runners in scoring position, second and third, and 2 outs. So here's Tyler Jones set to face Nick Seaman. Seaman shakes off the first pitch, shakes off the second, and he's okay with pitch number 3. So here comes a windup and the pitch, and that one's in the dirt, stopped by the catcher, Perez. And the count now 1-0. A 1 ball, no strikes. A 1-0 count. There's the windup in the pitch, and that's fouled off, and the count now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Tyler Jones. Joey Calabretti on deck, should he reach for the Dawgs. So here is Jones, ready as Nick Seaman looks in. Runners on second and third taking short leads. Here's the windup, the pitch, and called strike, and the count now 1-2. A 1 ball, 2 strikes, bottom 5 here, 2 outs. Runners in scoring positions at second and third here for the Dawgs. Dawgs looking to add to that 7-2 lead. And timeout is called by the batter. And so Tyler Jones steps out. And Jones takes a practice cut. Now will jump back into the box to face Seaman. Seaman again looks in. Picks up his sign from his catcher, Perez. And he's going to set, wind, and deliver. And there's a big swing and a miss. And he will strike out Tyler Jones. And that'll do it for the inning, but not before the Dawgs score a bunch of runs and take a 7-2 lead. We'll be back after this.
Spring into action and get started on your home projects with Little Falls Lumber. Get your free estimate today for that project, big or small. Little Falls Lumber, they're always happy to help.
Stop by one of our 3 convenient locations and speak to one of our knowledgeable salesmen about your next project.
Hawks is the third baseman, number 36, from Florida Atlantic, Jaden Ariel.
So Jaden Ariel leading off for Amsterdam here in the top of the sixth inning, which has been all dogs so far in this game. They now lead 7-2 on the backs of a big inning in the fourth inning, scoring 4 runs. And in the fifth, last inning, of course, they put 2 more across. So there you go. The Dogs looking to make the Amsterdam Mohawks amongst the ranks of the defeated, as they are currently undefeated. Mohawk Valley trying to change that tonight. We got a little bit of a delay here at the plate, but we are now ready to go with some baseball. Count is 0-1 as Drew Harris still on the mound for the Dogs. Here's the windup, here's the pitch. And that is lifted into foul territory along the right field line. Count will go to 0-2. So if you're the Dogs, what a feather in the cap if they can get this win here tonight. And I'm going to hand back over to Pete here as he is coming back up here in the press box. Here you go, Pete.
Thank you, sir. A little break there. Had a, you know how that goes. 1-2 the count. And Jaden Harriel, the batter for Amsterdam. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. He strikes out. And that is out number 1 for the Mohawks.
Now batting for the Mohawks, the second baseman, number 3, from the University of Alabama, John Young.
So here's John Young Jr. He's from Alabama University, and he has grounded out and struck out. Last time he struck out, wasn't too happy about the call. So we'll see what happens here with 1 out. Left-handed batter is Young Jr. Here's the windup now on the pitch from Harris. And a swing and a miss for strike 1 to John Young Jr. So Bray Touchstone due up after Jones. I'm sorry, after Young. And that one misses for a ball 1. The count now 1-1 with 1 out. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody on. Top 6. Dogs have taken a 7-2 lead. And that is popped foul on the count now 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. And just 1 out here for the Mohawks. So back into the box is John Young Jr. Here's the windup in the pitch. And that is hit to left field. Left fielder coming strong, makes the catch. And that is out number 2.
Now batting for the Mohawks, the designated hitter is number 18, from Gulf Coast Community College, Bray.
So Bray Touchstone now the batter for the Mohawks. Touchstone reached on an error in his last at-bat. Also grounded out here this evening. He's got 2 outs now. And nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. Here's the windup and pitch. That's fallen off on the first base line to our tennis court areas. Again, if you've never been here before, that's where to hang out if you're looking for that souvenir baseball. A lot of balls head out that way throughout the games. And there's a strike in the count now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. So Harris looking to get out of this inning here with an 0-2 count. 2 outs. Here's the windup and pitch by Harris. And that is high for ball 1. So 1-2 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Touchstone is the batter, Bray Touchstone from Gulf Coast Community College. Here's the windup and the pitch. And he fouls that one off to stay alive, and the count remains 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Touchstone. 1-2, 2 outs. Wind up now in the pitch. And that one is hit high. Left fielder coming fast, makes the grab. And that is good for out number 3. So after 5.5, it is 7-2, Mohawk Valley.
At NBT Bank, we know that this day starts with this one. This day starts with this one. Because no matter how unforgettable the extraordinary days are, there's a lot of every day that leads up to them. You can count on NBT Bank to help you get started. NBT Bank. It starts here.
Wake up and smell the sizzle at your local Burger King. Burger King is open for breakfast 7 days a week. Your mornings deserve the royal treatment. So dive in to try our delicious breakfast sandwiches, savor our savory hash browns, and wash it all down with a hot or iced coffee. Whether it's Monday or Sunday, we've got your breakfast cravings covered. Swing by BK today to have it your way. You rule at participating U.S. restaurants during breakfast hours.
Hey fans, tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
And welcome back, fans. Bottom of the 6th inning, 7-2 is the score. Mohawk Valley ahead here in this perfect game collegiate baseball league matchup. We're coming to you from Little Falls, New York, home of the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs at Veterans Memorial Park. And we have a new pitcher on the mound for the Mohawks. That is Brad Curtis. So Brad Curtis now pitching for the Mohawks. So Curtis taking a few warm-up tosses. As Curtis takes a few final warm-up tosses as we wait the first batter for the Dogs for the inning.
Now adding for your DiamondDawgs in the bottom of the 6th. From first baseman, number 13, from Seton Hall, Joey Calabrese.
So Joey Calabrese will lead things off here for the Dogs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Again, new pitcher on the mound for the Mohawks is Brad Curtis. So Brad Curtis against Calabrese here in the bottom of the 6th. Curtis now sets. He's a right-handed pitcher, and he winds and delivers. Swing and a miss for strike one. It'll be Calabrese, J.P. Kuzik, and Caden Hart all due up in this inning. We'll see if Caden Hart comes back and bats in this inning. 0-1 count. Wind up the pitch. And that one misses for ball one in the count, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1. Here's the windup now and the pitch by Curtis. And on the ground, picked up by the pitcher. He tosses it over for out number 1. So Calabrese grounds out. And J.P. Kuzik now the batter.
The catcher, number 30, from Fairfield University, J.P. Kuzik.
So here's J.P. Kuzik. Here's the pitch to Kuzik, and that one misses for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 the count. Here's the windup, and that one is popped foul, and the count now 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. A 1-1 pitch, here it comes, and hit on the ground, and that one gets past the shortstop and the third baseman for a base hit. So a single by Kuznick
Now batting for your Dogs, the pinch hitter, number 3 from Bucknell University, John Calabrese.
So John Calabrese is now the pinch hitter for Caden Hart. So just a precaution getting Caden Hart out of the ball game. You can see him here from the booth. He is in the dugout. Just had a little ice on his side of his head, so just taking precautions. He is okay. And first pitch to Calabrese is a ball. So 1 ball, no strikes. So fans or parents listening at home, no worries. Caden Hart is in the dugout. Took a pitch to his helmet earlier, and he stayed in the ball game, and just precautionary, getting some ice on it, making sure he's okay. So 2 balls and no strikes to Calabrese. So 2 balls, no strikes. With 1 out, runner on first. Here comes the windup now, and the pitch to Calabrese. And outside corner call strike. The count now 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike to John Calabrese. Again, runner on first base for the Dogs. Taking a short lead. And they're going to throw back to first. He slides in safely. And we'll reset and do it all again here. So 2 balls and 1 strike again now to Calabrese as we have the reset. Runner on first again, taking a few short steps off the bag, dancing around. And here's the pitch. That is left high for ball 3 in the count, 3-1. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Brad Curtis, the pitcher, on the mound here for Amsterdam. Dogs lead 7-2. And here's the pitch. Again, high for ball 4. And runners now on first and second with 1 out.
Now batting for your Dogs, the right fielder, number 14 from RPI, Ian Oschlager.
So here's Ian Oschlager. Oschlager has popped out in his last at bat. He's also walked and struck out tonight. So at bat number 4 here for Oschlager with runners on first and second. Just 1 out. Here at the top of the 6th. Called strike inside portion of the plate, and the count 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. 7-2, Dogs lead here, bottom 6. Here's the windup and the pitch by Curtis. And that ball hits sharply at the third baseman, steps on the bag, throws across the diamond, and they get him. A double play. He stepped on third base, threw over to first, and they got the double play to end the inning. So the inning is over. We head to the top of the 7th. The score remains 7-2. Dogs ahead.
If you are looking for some shopping and dining, head on over to Canal Place, where you will find quaint shops, galleries, restaurants, and inns situated in the old mill buildings and storefronts along the waterfront of Canal Place. They've become known as the happening place for the arts in the Mohawk Valley. Not so long ago, many of these buildings were working mills serving the garment industry. Even today, after conversion to serve as retail space, many of these rugged but lovely structures speak to our great regional manufacturing heritage. If you're looking for fine arts, entertainment, or antiques, you simply must pay a visit to Canal Place.
catcher number 0 from Stetson University, Danny Perez.
And we are back, folks. So a new pitcher on the mound for Mohawk Valley is Jake Beck. And at the plate is the catcher, Danny Perez. And Calabrese is out now in the center field, replacing Caden Hart. Calabrese in center field. New pitcher on the mound for Mohawk Valley is Jake Beck. 1-0 count, and that one is hit into center field. And that's good for a base hit from Perez to start off the inning here in the top of the 7th for the Mohawks. So Lucas Buckner now will come to the plate for Amsterdam.
From Mississippi State, Lucas Buckner.
So Lucas Buckner has reached on an error today and also popped out. And a left-handed batter is Buckner. And he's got a runner on first here in the top of the 7th, nobody out. And that one's outside for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes to Buckner. 1-0 count. Here's the windup and the pitch now coming from Beck. Again, runner on first, taking that short lead. Here's the pitch. And that is fouled off. And the count now even at 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Lucas Buckner. Again, Buckner reached on an E6 at his last at bat. He's a left-handed batter for the Mohawks. Wearing the red socks up to his knees here. Here's the pitch. Shows bunt, pulls it back. And that is good for ball 2. And the count now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Buckner. Buckner is the shortstop for the Mohawks. Bottom of the lineup for the Mohawks. Then we go back here to the top after this batter. And that one down low for ball 3. So 3 balls, 1 strike to Buckner here from the new pitcher in the ball game for Mohawk Valley, Jake Beck. Here's Beck now with the 3-1 pitch. And that catches the outside corner for a called strike. And the count now full at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody out. Runner on first here for the Mohawks. Mohawks down 7-2. Top of the 7th here from Veteran Memorial Park in Little Falls. 3-2 pitch. And that is fouled off by Buckner as he continues the battle at the plate against Jake Beck. 3-2 now the count. Well, 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count. Here comes the windup and the pitch by Beck. And he fouls that one off to stay alive. So 3-2, the count remains. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Beck looks at the runner at first. Now he's going to stop, wind, and deliver. And again, he fouls that one off. And Beck continuing the battle at the plate here against the new pitcher, Jake Beck. So 3-2 is the count here. Here's the windup now. And the pitch by Beck. And again, fouled off. So Lucas Buckner not going away here. He steps out of the box momentarily before he's going to face Beck again. He continues to battle here in the top of the 7th. Nobody out. Runner on first. Here's the pitch. And that's down low. And Buckner will take a walk to first base, so his efforts paid off. And he is now at first.
12 from SUNY Albany, Luke Filippi.
So Luke Filippi, who has struck out twice here tonight and singled, will now step into the batter's box for the Mohawks. As Jake Beck looking for his first out here of the inning to coming in here in the top of the 7th. Nobody out. Runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss in the count 0-1. Dawgs a 7-2 lead here in the top of the 7th. Again, looking to stop that Amsterdam Mohawks 9-0 record. Trying to stay unbeaten here is Amsterdam. The Dawgs trying to have something to say about that. So 1-1 count now to Filippi. 1 ball, 1 strike. A windup and the pitch. And that is down low for ball 2 in the count now, 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Beck will wind and deliver to Filippi here. And swing and a miss for strike 2 in the count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 now. Brandon McCrane on deck here for Amsterdam. And there is a swing and a miss for strike 3. And Filippi strikes out for the 3rd time here tonight for out number 1.
So right fielder number 10 from Auburn University, Brandon McCrane.
So Brandon McCrane now the batter. McCrane in his last attempt struck out. He also was hit by a pitch and grounded out here tonight. He's been roaming right field for the Mohawks. He'll step into the batter's box with 1 out, runners on first and second here for Amsterdam. Down 7-2, top 7, and that is hit to the second baseman. Scoops it up and throws over for out number 2.
Now batting the left fielder number 29 from the University of Utah, Jake Long.
So Jake Long, who's the left fielder for Amsterdam, now will come to the plate with 2 outs. Having grounded out in his last at bat, he's a left-handed batter for the Mohawks here. So with the runners on the second and third, let's see here what Long does. First pitch is in the dirt, stopped by the catcher for the Dawgs. That's Kuzik. And the count 1-0. 1-0, 2 outs. Runners on second and third, both taking short leads here. And here's the windup now and the pitch by Beck. Again, in the dirt, and the catcher is able to keep it nearby. And both runners stay put at second and third. That brings the count to 2-0 now to McCrane. I'm sorry, Jake Long. Long steps back into the box, facing a 2-0 count. Wind up in the pitch by Beck is on its way. And it is fouled off, and the count now is 2-1. So 2-1 count. Jake Long steps out of the box, makes some adjustments to his batting gloves. Two and 1, here's the pitch. And that one is fouled off, and the count now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jake Long. And Lou Costello is on deck. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Outside, ball 3. And 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runners on first, and second, and third. No spot, only 1 spot remaining here to put a batter. And Jake Beck with a full count, 3-2. So 3-2 count to Jake Long. Let's see which Jake wins this battle. Here's a pitch. And there's a swing and a foul tip. And the count remains 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 3-2. And again fouled off. So another battle, this time between the Jakes. Jake Beck on the mound. And Jake Long at the plate. So one of the Jakes is going to win this battle. Let's see which one it is here. As Jake Beck delivers to Jake Long. And there is ball 4. So Jake Long, the winner in that contest, will still go to first base to load the bases now.
Now batting for the Mohawks, the first baseman, number 30 from Wake Forest, Luke Costello.
So Luke Costello will come to the plate for Amsterdam with 2 outs, bases loaded, down 7-2. Jake back to the pitcher on the mound for the Mohawk Valley, looking to get out of this jam here with 2 outs. Here's the windup and the pitch. There's a big swing and a miss for strike 1 in the count, 0-1 to Costello. Costello has walked twice today and doubled. So this is his 4th at bat. 0-1 count. Wind up and pitch. And there is strike 2. And quickly 0-2 count now. So 1 more needed here for Jake Beck to get out of this inning with no damage. He's got bases loaded, 7-2 lead. And an 0-2 count to Lou Costello. Here is Jake Beck. He sets, kicks, winds, and delivers. And that one just missing for ball 1. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Costello. One and 2 now. There's Beck now with the 1-2. In the dirt, gets away, takes a big bounce from away from the catcher. And that's going to allow a run to score. So a run scores now 7-3. After that ball took a big bounce in the dirt in front of the catcher. And no chance there for the catcher to get a stop on that one. And so the score now 7-3. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runners on second and third here for the Mohawks. Beck looks in now, picks up his sign from his catcher. And he's ready to deliver on the 2-2. And that is fouled off, and the count will remain 2-2. So some long battles at the plate lately between pitchers and the hitters. 2-2 now the count. Here's the pitch. And called. Strike 3 ends the inning. Just 1 run score, so damage minimized by Mohawk Valley and Jake Beck, and the score remains 7-3 as we head to the bottom of the 7th.
Little Falls, New York combines the charms of a small town with the conveniences of a much larger city. Of course, you'd expect to find welcoming people, beautiful scenery, family-friendly activities, and plenty to do outdoors. But you might be surprised to find that Little Falls, New York also has an espresso bar, gym shop, art center, French restaurant, antique centers, local hospital, and extensive civic services and amenities. Not to mention homes both beautiful and affordable, nestled in a dramatic natural setting amongst steep hills that descend to the Mohawk River and Erie Canal. Little Falls, New York. It's a great place to spend a few days or a lifetime.
Wake up and smell the sizzle at your local Burger King. Burger King is open for breakfast 7 days a week. Your mornings deserve the royal treatment. So dive in to try our delicious breakfast sandwiches, savor our savory hash browns, and wash it all down with a hot or iced coffee. Whether it's Monday or Sunday, we've got your breakfast cravings covered. Swing by BK today to have it your way. You rule at participating U.S. restaurants during breakfast hours.
And welcome back, fans. Bottom of the 7th inning coming up here in Little Falls as the Amsterdam Mohawks chipped away at that lead a little. Now 7-3. Mohawk Valley ahead, so the Dogs looking to add some more runs here as insurances. We're in the bottom of the 7th.
Number 23 from St. Thomas Aquinas College, Brandon Hawk.
So Brandon Hawk is going to lead things off here for the DiamondDawgs in the bottom of the 7th. Hawk was hit by a pitch, and his last at bat will be Brandon Hawk, John Ramsey, and Matthew Sutera, all due up here in the bottom of the 7th inning for Mohawk Valley. So Brad Curtis, the pitcher, on the mound here for Amsterdam, and delivers the pitch high for ball 1. So 1-0 count to Brandon Hawk. Curtis winds and delivers, puts it down low for ball 2, and the count now 2-0. So a right-handed batter is, right-handed batter is, can't think of his name. Where's his name? Hawk, sorry, Brandon Hawk. He fouls that one off. His name got all caught up in my stats here. Brandon Hawk at the plate with a 2-1 count. He's a right-handed batter, as I was saying, as I was searching frantically on my page for his name. 2-1. And here's the windup and the pitch. That's fouled off here behind us, and the count now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brendan Hawk. So Hawk takes a little circle before he jumps back into the box. Again, 2-2 the count, nobody out. Bottom 7, there's the pitch by Curtis. And that is popped up to the third baseman. Third baseman calls everybody off, and he makes the catch for out number 1. So John Ramsey now the batter for Mohawk Valley.
The shortstop, number 34 from Trinity College, John Ramsey.
So John Ramsey, another right-handed batter for the Dogs from Trinity College. He popped up and had a sacrifice bunt earlier, and also a single, RBI single. Steps into the box with 1 out here to face Brad Curtis. Wind up by Curtis, and that is popped up into right field, and the first baseman backs up, makes the catch for out number 2. So quickly 2 outs now after the pop out to the first baseman by John Ramsey. So Matt Sotera now, who singled and doubled in this ball game, also struck out once. He's going to step into the batter's box with 2 outs and nobody on here in the bottom of the 7th. Dogs leading 7-3. Again, Vets Memorial Park in Little Falls, New York. It's Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League action. It's all brought to you by Creative Outposts and all our interns who work so hard here to bring you all the action. 1-0 count to Sutera. And he pops that one in the air to right field. The right fielder gets underneath it, makes the grab. A quick inning for the Dogs. And we head to the top of the 8th. Dogs hanging on 7-3. Back after this.
Visit the Daily Post and stay connected with the latest news, information, and events in the Mohawk Valley. Our mission is to generate interest in the area and connect residents in a more meaningful way by facilitating deeper conversations about how these stories will shape the future of the Mohawk Valley. Join thousands of weekly visitors who stay up to date with feature stories, interviews, videos, our event calendar, and print publication, the Mohawk Valley Express. It's about timely local news for the community, keeping citizens informed about important issues, telling about the people who live and work here, and giving locally owned businesses the opportunity to reach a very targeted audience of locals and tourists alike. It's a whole new form of media-rich content developed specifically for today's mobile lifestyle and listeners. You can download our iOS app in the iTunes Store, listen to our podcast, or sign up for our weekly email newsletter. Stop by today at thedailypost.digital. You'll be glad you did.
And we are back, folks. We have a new pitcher on the mound for Mohawk Valley.
From Stony Brook University, number 19, Aiden Colagrande.
So Aiden Colagrande now the pitcher for Mohawk Valley. So new pitcher here to start the 8th inning for Mohawk Valley. So Aiden Colagrande now the pitcher. So Colagrande taking his warm-up tosses. And fans, just a reminder, if you're looking for some baseball, we're back here tomorrow as the Boonville Lumberjacks come to town. So come out, check out the Boonville team. The new team kind of rebranded. There's some new players. Heard some good things about that Boonville squad, so come out and check them out tomorrow.
The extra hitter, number 15 from St. Bonaventure University, Chris Holcraft.
So Chris Holcraft is going to lead things off here for Amsterdam here in the top of the 8th inning. It'll be Chris Holcraft, Jaden Harriel, and John Young Jr. Here's the pitch by Cola Grande. And there's a strike. And the count is 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to Holcraft. Cola Grande now winds and delivers outside. And the count now even at 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Chris Holcraft. He's the extra hitter tonight. A walk, a pop out, and a ground out for Holcraft tonight. And here's the 1-1 pitch by Cola Grande and called strike 2. So 1-2. So Cola Grande ahead in the count here to Holcraft. Again, it'll be Holcraft, Harriel, and Young all due up here in the inning. Here's Cola Grande with a 1-2. And that's fouled off by Holcraft, and the count will remain 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the DiamondDawgs faithful still here tonight cheering on the Dogs. Also many fans from Amsterdam who made the trip down the road. They are here as well. They travel well. They like their Mohawks, and they like baseball, so we're glad to have them. That ball is hit on the ground to the second baseman. Scoops it up, throws over to first for the out.
Now batting for Amsterdam, the third baseman, number 36, from Florida Atlantic, Jaden Harriel.
So Jaden Harriel from Florida Atlantic, the third baseman for the Mohawks. 2 strikeouts tonight and a pop out. Will step into the batter box from the right side to face Cola Grande with 1 out, nobody on. Top of the 8th, 7-3 is the score. 7-3 the score. Here's the pitch. DiamondDawgs are ahead. And that one misses for ball 1. And the count 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes to Harriel. 1-0 count. And the pitch. And that's fallen off here to behind us. And the count 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Looks like a young fan won the Bart Carrig photo. See her walking around with that autographed Picasso. It's the Picasso of Little Falls. And 2-1 now the count. Another Picasso sitting here in the booth next to me, working on his photos right now as we speak. That is Dave Stitch Warner. He's a Picasso himself. That one has popped up, the count 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a 1 out here to the batter for the Mohawks. That is Jaden Harriel. 2-2. Cola Grande winds and delivers and misses down low for ball 3. And the count now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on. 1 out. Top of the 8th inning. Dogs looking to be the spoilers here. 9-0. Amsterdam rolling in town. Here's the 3-2 pitch now from Cola Grande. And that one misses for ball 4, and he will take his base, Will Harriel.
Now batting the second baseman, number 3, from the University of Alabama, John Young Jr.
So John Young Jr., the Alabama Crimson Tide, represented here in Amsterdam. He will step up to the plate, a left-handed batter. Some instructions being yelled out by Coach Luby to his players, making sure they're in the right positions in the outfield. And that one misses to Young Jr. in the count 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Cola Grande sets, winds, and delivers in the dirt for ball 2. So quickly, 2 balls and no strikes to Young Jr. 2-0, he's going to step back in the box. He stepped out momentarily. Runner on first base being held on, taking a few steps off the bag. Cola Grande takes a look. And now he's going to wind and deliver and puts it down the middle for a called strike 1. And the count now is 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike to John Young Jr., the second baseman. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Cola Grande. And that one down low for ball 3, and the count now 3-1. So Cola Grande doesn't want to put him on the bag here with a 3-1 count. With already a runner on first base. And a 7-3 lead. 3-1. Here's the pitch. And that is fouled off by Young Jr. in the count now full at 3-2. So Amsterdam looking to slowly chip away at that 7-3 lead. They got a runner on first. And they got a member of the Crimson Tide at the plate. 3-2 is the count. Backs off. As Young takes a deep breath and jumps back into the batter's box to face Colagrande. 3-2 the count. Colagrande sets, looks at the runner at first, who's taking a short lead, and now delivers the pitch. And right down the center of the plate, and he strikes out for out number 2. And John Young Jr., the second strikeout of the game for him. And Bray Touchstone now will come to the plate. So Touchstone, a right-handed batter for the Mohawks, comes to the plate with an out. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss. And there is strike 1. So no balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs here for the Mohawks. Top of the 8th. They got a runner on first, down 7-3. Colagrande sets, winds and delivers. And there's a big swing and a miss for a strike 2. So quickly ahead of the count is Colagrande. 0-2, looking to finish up here in the top of the 8th. And set him down and head to the bottom of the 8th and looking for some more runs. Will the Dawgs. Here's the 0-2, and it is high for ball 1. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2. Colagrande looks, again, looking at that runner at first base, taking a few short steps off the bag. And there's strike 3, swing and a miss. And that does it for the inning. Another scoreless inning. And the score remains 7-3 Dawgs. We head to the bottom of the 8th here in Little Falls.
At GPO, we understand every member's journey is unique. That's why our employees take the time to listen, understand, and deliver personalized solutions that fit your life. From budgeting to borrowing, we're with you every step of the way. Your journey, our commitment. GPO Federal Credit Union, committed to excellence.
Some people might think that the tire shop in Canajoharie only does tires. Nah, that's only their name. The tire shop does so much more. Oil changes, custom wheels, interstate batteries, computer wheel balancing, tire repair service and recapping, auto accessories, tire chains, ag bags, bale and net wrap, and much more. And when it comes to tires, the tire shop in Canajoharie also does so much more. Lawn and garden tires, off the road, backhoe, loader tires, log skidder, agricultural, ATV and UTV tires, and on the farm tire services. The tire shop is a multi-line new tire dealer. That means they're quite a choice for top brand name tires for your car, truck, SUV, semi-tractor, and trailer, all at great prices. They're also a Goodyear national accounts and state contract pricing location. Financing available too. Find more information and a list of services at thetireshop.biz. Thetireshop.biz. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 6. Yes, Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Tire Shop, 155 Erie Boulevard in Canajoharie.
Dogs. The left fielder, number 28 from Siena College, Edwin Sanchez.
And welcome back, bottom of the 8th here in Little Falls. Edwin Sanchez, the leadoff hitter for the Dogs, will lead things off here in the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Edwin Sanchez, Tyler Jones, and Joey Calabretti. And the first pitch to Sanchez is a ball. So 1 ball, no strikes to the Dogs, looking to add some more runs here because no run is safe when you're playing this Amsterdam team. They always chip away. So they gladly like to add some more runs here in the bottom half of the 8th and be the spoilers. Like I said, all game long, these guys came in here 9-0. Sure, that was part of the discussion is let's go 10-0 at our competitors. Well, that one misses. And the count now 3-0 to Sanchez. So 3 balls and no strikes. Sanchez with a double in his last at bat. Facing Brad Curtis. Here's the pitch from Curtis. And called strike in the count 3-1. So I just got an update from our hockey guy here in the booth. So if you don't want to know the score of the Florida game, I'll give you a second to stick your head under the pillow. And there is a walk to Edwin Sanchez. So if you're just, watching the game and you want to watch the hockey game later and you want to know the score, now's your chance to plug your ears. 2-0 is the score. Florida, we were just talking about how Florida is just from top down dominant right now. So we'll see what happens in that series. It should be interesting. We'll see what happens tonight. So runner on first here for the Dawgs. And Tyler Jones now the batter. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that's fouled off by Jones in the count 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Nobody out. Runner on first base here for the Dawgs. As we get here into the late evening hours of Little Falls. Oh, pitch hitter, sorry. Emmett Coco's the batter. Got a little carried away talking about hockey over here. Plus, I got these headsets on. People think I can hear them, and I really can't. But anyways, Emmett Coco on the batter. 0-1 count to Coco. They throw back to first. So Coco is a left-handed batter for the Dawgs. 0-1 count. Here's the 0-1 count to Coco. Taking his time is Curtis. Here's the pitch. Runner takes off. Here's the throw. Offline. And that heads out into center field. And he's going to take off. And safe at third after the ball was thrown into the outfield. And now a runner on third base for the Dawgs. So Emmett Coco is still at the plate after the pitch was thrown in the outfield after the runner took off. 0-1 now the count. Actually, I think it's 1-1. And that one misses for a ball. And the count 1-1? All right, 1-1 is the count. We're going with 1-1. 1-1 the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the windup and the pitch. And right down the center of the plate for strike 2, and the count now 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. 1-2. As the pitch outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So a little warfare here in the booth as we're talking about 80s night. So us older guys want some 80s night, and the younger folk here want the 90s. And there's a swing and a miss. And then we have Dave Warner who wants a 60s night out here. He's calling for a little disco night. So there's a swing and a miss with 1 out. And now Joey Calabretti, the batter for the Dawgs here. With a runner on third base. Again, any runs the Dawg can get here in the bottom of the 8th, they would gladly take. And there's a swing and a miss by Calabretti. The count 0-1 now. No balls and 1 strike, 1 out. Wind up in the pitch coming from Curtis. 0-1, here it is. And that one hit past the third baseman. That's going to score a run. And Calabretti's going to head to second. And so a stand-up double for Calabretti. Run scores, and the Dawgs now lead 8-3 here in the bottom of the 8th.
Not adding for your Dawgs, the catcher, number 30, from Fairfield University, J.P. Kuzik.
So J.P. Kuzik, now the batter. And I heard another hockey update to the left of me. So again, you don't want to know the score. You got to hide under the covers real quick or go down in the cellar so you don't hear the score. I'll give you a quick hockey. We try to get you all sports here, right? So 3-0. Florida has jumped ahead in the first. So at the end of the first. So the Oilers really putting themselves in a spot. Ball hit on the ground to the shortstop, scoops it up and throws over to first for the out. So we got 2 outs here. So if you're listening to baseball, it is 8-3. DiamondDawgs ahead here in the bottom of the 8th. They got 2 outs, looking to stop Mohawk Valley.
Center fielder number 3 from Bucknell University, John Calabrese.
So here's John Calabrese as he steps into the batter's box on the left side of the plate is Calabrese. 2 outs. Runner on to second base. 8-3 now Dogs. And that curveball misses outside for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. A 1 ball, no strikes. A 1-0 the count. You know, it's crazy that we talk about hockey in June. And when we're talking about hockey in June, we're talking about a team from Sunrise, Florida, who is in the Stanley Cup Finals. It's pretty amazing. So 1-1 count. That Florida team came into the league many, many years ago as an expansion team, and look what they're doing now. And that one has popped up into foul territory. It is out of play, it looks like. And the count now is 1-2 to Calabrese. So Dogs with an 8-3 advantage. Bottom of the 8th. Oh, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second for the Dogs. Here's Calabrese, jumps back into the box, ready to face the pitcher for Amsterdam. That is Brad Curtis. 1-2. Here's the windup and the pitch. Outside, just missing. And the count 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Calabrese is ready. Curtis looking in, getting a sign. Takes a glance at that runner at second base, taking a pretty generous lead, not being held on, dancing around. There's the pitch. And that is fouled off. So the count remains 2-2 as Calabrese putting in the work at home plate here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. So again, deuces wild here at the bottom of the 8th. There's the 2-2 pitch from Curtis. And again, popped foul. So the count remains 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as this battle between Brad Curtis and the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs batter, John Calabrese. On deck for Mohawk Valley, should they reach, is Ian Oslager. 2-2. Here's the pitch. And that is hit to left field. Left fielder coming fast. And he makes the grab to end the inning, but not before the Dogs put up a run. They'd take an 8-3 lead. We had at the top of the 9th. Dogs looking to dash the hopes of Amsterdam as they're undefeated 9-0, and they're trying to put a mark on Amsterdam. Back after this.
Spring into action and get started on your home projects with Little Falls Lumber. Get your free estimate today for that project, big or small. Little Falls Lumber. They're always happy to help.
Stop by one of our 3 convenient locations and speak to one of our knowledgeable salesmen about your next project.
Some people might think that the tire shop in Canajoharie only does tires. Nah, that's only their name. The tire shop does so much more. Oil changes, custom wheels, interstate batteries, computer wheel balancing, tire repair service and recapping, auto accessories, tire chains, ag bags, bale and net wrap, and much more. And when it comes to tires, the tire shop in Canajoharie also does so much more. Lawn and garden tires, off the road, backhoe, loader tires, log skidder, agricultural, ATV and UTV tires, and on the farm tire services. The tire shop is a multi-line new tire dealer. That means they're quite a choice for top brand name tires for your car, truck, SUV, semi-tractor, and trailer, all at great prices. They're also a Goodyear national accounts and state contract pricing location. Financing available too. Find more information and a list of services at thetireshop.biz. Thetireshop.biz. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 6. Yes, Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Tire Shop, 155 Erie Boulevard in Canajoharie.
Top of the ninth for the Amsterdam Mohawks is the pinch hitter, number 32 from Prairie View A&M, Sebastian Harden.
So we are back. A new pinch hitter in the ball game for Amsterdam is Sebastian Harmon. So Sebastian Harmon now the pinch hitter. And here we go. With Amsterdam coming in with a 9-game winning streak to start the season, and the Dogs are looking to put a mark on that here tonight as they lead 8-3 here in the top of the ninth. I'm sorry. There is first pitch by Cola Grande. The count 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. That one misses outside, 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Herman. 2-0 count, nobody out, nobody on. Top 9. Cola Grande, the pitcher here for Mohawk Valley. Cola Grande now kicks, winds, and delivers. And there is strike 1 down the center of the plate to Harmon in the count 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Harmon, a right-handed batter for Amsterdam. There's the 2-1. And that one misses high and outside, 3-1. So 3 balls and a strike. Fans still hanging on here in Little Falls. Watching the end of this game, hoping to see a victory here for Mohawk Valley. And that one's fouled off by Harmon. The count now full, 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Nobody on here in the top of the ninth. Dogs ahead 8-3. Here's the 3-2 pitch now. And that is fouled off down the first base line. And the count's going to stay put at 3-2.
Missed it by that much.
3 balls, 2 strikes here to Harmon. Aiden Colagrande, the pitcher for Mohawk Valley. 3-2 pitch on its way. And that ball is hit into center field for a base hit. So Harmon starts things off here in the top of the ninth with a single for the Mohawks.
Now batting for the Mohawks, the shortstop, number 1 from Mississippi State, Lucas Buckner.
So Lucas Buckner now is the batter for the Mohawks. Buckner, a left-handed batter. And remember, Buckner with the white helmet and the high red socks to his knees. Runner on first. Here's the pitch by Colagrande. And that has popped up into foul territory. And he makes the catch. That is the third baseman for the Dogs making the catch for the out. That is Calabretti at third, so 1 out. A nice play there by Calabretti. So back to the top of the order we go for the Mohawks. Luke Filippi, he has struck out in his last 3 at-bats. He also singled in his first. And the first pitch to Filippi is a ball on the count 1-0. So 1 out, top of 9, 8-3 Dogs. Runner on first here for Amsterdam. Here's Colagrande with the windup and the pitch. And that's fouled off, and the count now even at 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and 1 man on at first base for the Mohawks. Colagrande, the pitcher for Mohawk Valley. He winds and delivers. And that one, a ball, as the catcher just grabbing it before it got away from him. 2-1 the count. So 2 balls and a 1 strike here. Here is the windup and pitch. And that one is fouled off. The count now even, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Luke Filippi. So Brandon McCrane on deck for Amsterdam. Here's the windup and the pitch. And again, that's fouled off. And the count remains 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Luke Filippi. Aiden Colagrande looking to strike him out here or get out number 2. And that is popped into right field. And that one gets away. And everybody is safe on play. So runners now on the first and second for the Mohawks.
Brandon McCrane.
And Brendan McCrane now will come to the plate for the Mohawks. Oh, 1 out, runners on first and second here for Amsterdam. Colagrande, the pitcher, already has 1 out. Just needs 2 more here to get out of this victorious. And there's a strike. The count 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that is popped foul on the count now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Colagrande looking for 1 more here to get out number 2 for the Dawgs. 0-2. The count here to McCrane. Here's the pitch, and that misses. And the count now 1-2. So again, runners on first and second here for Amsterdam. Top of the 9th inning. Dawgs have an 8-3 advantage with 1 out. Wind up and pitch by Colagrande. Swing and a miss. And there is strike 3. And down to their final out now are the Mohawks.
The left fielder, number 29, from the University of Utah, Jake Long.
So Jake Long now the batter for Amsterdam, a left-handed batter. So it'll be up to him to keep things going here for Amsterdam if they want to keep that perfect record at 9-0 coming into the ball game here tonight. And the first pitch is a called strike to Long, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike, 2 outs. Colagrande looks at the runner at second base. Runners on first and second. Here's the windup of the pitch, and that is popped high into right field. The right fielder makes the grab, and that'll do it. The Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs have stopped the 9-game winning streak. The Amsterdam Mohawks will not be 10-0. And a good win here for the DiamondDawgs, winning 8-3. They're back here tomorrow night as the Boonville Lumberjacks come to town. So fans, again, this broadcast brought to you by Creative Outpost. Thank you to all our interns and everybody who works so hard behind the scenes to bring you DiamondDawgs baseball. I'm Pete Pagliaro. We'll be back tomorrow night as the Boonville Lumberjacks come to town. Have a good night.
We're out on the field and we're ready to play. We're all suited up, we got a game today. We're gonna play fast and we're gonna play hard, gonna knock that ball right out of the yard. So don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler now, let's go Dawgs! We got a guy on third, nobody out. It's time to stand up, yes, it's time to shout. We're playing some ball and we're having some fun. Come on, boys, let's score that run. So don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler now, let's go Dawgs! Field and we're ready to play. We're all suited up, we got a game today. We're gonna play fast and we're gonna play hard. Gonna knock that ball right out of the yard. So don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler now, let's go Dawgs! 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 Don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler